What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466cards here, back with another video. Today we're going to talk about Zion card prices and how I believe they have more room to fall. They've already fallen quite a bit in the last few months here along the rest of the market, but when you compare them to LeBron cards, which is what I'm going to do here, I think there's way more room for them to fall. So let's jump right into it. The method I'm going to use to do this comparison is what is known as the market cap method, which is exactly the same thing that is the same methodology that is used in the stock market, which gives an estimate on the total value of a company or the total market value. And so that's calculated in the stock market by taking the current share price and multiplying by the total number of shares, and you multiply those two together, and that's the market capitalization or market cap. And basically gives an estimate of the total amount, the total value of the company. And so similar for a sports card, you take a current price of a card in a specific grade, multiply that by the pop count of that particular card in that particular grade, and that gives you the market cap for that card in that grade, which is a summary of the value that is invested in each of those in that card in that grade. And so as just taking a step back here, I want to just talk about LeBron James and what he's accomplished in his career because he's going to be a reference point. And I want to read through these because if you take a step back and read it, it's preposterous. 18-time All-Star, 18-time All-NBA, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. Rookie of the Year, 6 times All-Defensive, which is, I think, underrated in his game. I don't think he's as good as a defensive player as he was in his prime. 4 times MVP, 4-time champ, All-Rookie, sure, 3-time All-Star MVP. I don't know that I really care about that. 4-time MVP on the NBA 75th anniversary team. And, oh, by the way, soon to be the all-time scoring leader if things go according to plan the next few months. All that summary on the right there from Basketball Reference, the yearly averages, that's a lot of good stuff happening there for 20 years basically. Undoubtedly top 5 of all time, probably top 3, maybe top 2. Your mileage may vary, but like one of the GOATs. I don't think that there's any debate for that. Next is Zion. The page is a lot smaller because he's played 100 games, barely. I pulled this data on December the 4th. Some of the numbers might have changed since then, but you get the idea. He's in year 4. He missed all year 3. He only played 24 games in year 1. He's a one-time All-Star. He's played 100 games. He's averaging 24 points a game this season, and maybe will be a 2-time All-Star this season. Comparison between this and what you saw with LeBron's page is night and day. One guy is Mount Rushmore. One guy is played 100 games. So what happens when we compare their market caps? So I'm going to focus on the flagship cards. For LeBron, it'll be Topps Chrome. For Zion, it'll be Prism. I think those are pretty standard in terms of what is viewed by the hobby as their flagship products. If you disagree, I don't have to tell you. I think everybody more or less thinks this. So for the LeBron James Topps Chrome base, PSA 10s, I should also add. You multiply the two things together, right? Last sold price 5,500, pop 2,200. That gets you a market cap of 12.2 million. Zion, I don't know what's going on with Card Ladder for whatever reason. They have this invalid date sold thing. It's unclear. They also removed the market cap value from this page. I don't know why they did that. So it's kind of annoying. I had to do it myself. Anyways, they multiply the 117 by the pop of 22,000. Just think about how many that is. You multiply those two together, and you get a market cap of 2.6 million. So roughly, the LeBron is 5x what Zion's is here. Now let's take a look at the refractors. For the Topps Chrome, it's the refractor at $32,000 times the pop 174. That gets you to $5.5 million. Zion, we're going to use the silvers, $930, but a pop of $1,500 plus, and that gets you to a market cap of $1.5 million. And so I'm going to summarize that all in this table here, right? I don't think I know I have it here. Does it make any sense that LeBron's cards are only 4 to 5x Zion's cards? I'm saying no, just straight off the bat. That's insane. That is way too low. That multiplier should be in easily double digits. It should be more. Like, again, I just want to reiterate what they've done. Like, compare those two things. Even if you project Zion to be like a very good player, he's not going to get good anywhere. Like, the likelihood of him reaching what LeBron's accomplished, it's like a 99 or 100th percentile case. It is like the ultimate best case scenario. I don't think that it's going to happen. I bet my money against it. I bet a lot of money against it. And so I just think that is insanely low. And you're like, well, 4 to 5x, does that make sense? Well, here's another thing about it. 4 to 5x, do you think the chances of him becoming LeBron 2.0, do you think it's like a 4 to 1, 5 to 1 shot? That's basically what this is saying. I'm going to say no to that. Is he, another way to think about it, is he a quarter or a fifth of the way to what LeBron's accomplished? I would say no to that. Those are two very simplistic ways of comparing the two, using the 4 to 5 multipliers there. I know that there are some mathematical differences. I am aware. Please don't get into the nitty gritty of expected values with me in this video, because that's what this is for. But yeah, this makes no sense to me. I'm going to use one other example to really drive this point home. Dwayne Wade is a very good basketball player. If we do the exact same calculations, he's worth a sixth of what Zion's are. He is, just a reminder of his accomplishments, 13-time All-Star, 3-time champion, Finals MVP, 8-time All-NBA, scoring champion, on the NBA 75th anniversary team, so top 10 75 of all time. This, if the LeBron thing was kind of hard to understand because of the multipliers, this is even easier to understand. 1/6 the price of Zion's from a market cap perspective. Like, how is a Zion Prism with a pop of 22,000 worth $100, whereas Dwayne Wade's pop less than 1,000 is worth only $400? There's just, that's bonkers. That is not sustainable. And so I know I've been ripping on Zion. And just two things to be clear here. Zion could become a very, very, very good player. And this has nothing to do with what he's going to be. This has everything to do with how his value is, or his market value is too high. And the likelihood of becoming even a Dwayne Wade, I don't know. I would have that at like less than 50%. Look at the longevity of Dwayne Wade. 13-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA. You know? Anyways, I know it might seem like I'm ripping on Zion a lot, which I think is a pretty valid comment, but it doesn't just apply to Zion, it applies to basically all ultra-modern stuff. And so I'm going to make another comparison to someone else who the hobby loves. Luka. Yeah, so this is tough because Luka, I have no doubt. I'm very confident that Luka will be an all-time great. Will it be LeBron? Because he's already halfway there to his price. Like, look at the silver and refractor market caps. He's basically there. He's like 75% of the way there. He's like half of the base market cap. This is like it's all baked in, right? What if he becomes like a top 10 player of all time? Like, that's basically what this is saying. That's what he's assuming him to be. There's no upside in these cards at all, in my opinion, when you look at this. And so I think, and I'm going to make a video in a few weeks to talk about my top predictions of 2023, because that seems like a thing that everybody does. This will be one of them, about how all of these ultra modern, everybody's like, oh my god, the market's crashed, it's gone down so much, have we reached the bottom? For a bunch of stuff, I'm going to say absolutely not. It's going to go down further, depending on what type of card you have. And so that gets me to this. The main reason this is a problem, like all of this stuff, is the pop counts just keep on going up and up and up. And I don't think that collectors really understand the oversupply because of what Panini's done. You can see here how the pop counts have increased over time. The dark green line on the bottom, and this is great stuff from Gemrate, by the way. They're fantastic. You can see, even in April to now, the silvers have increased by about 40%. If I'm eyeballing that, I haven't done the math, but was just under 1,200 on April the 6th. It's now at almost 1,600. Sorry, that's so 1,600. So that's like it's gone up by like 35-ish%. And then even same thing with the base. We're at 16,000 8 months ago. We're at 22,000 now. That's a good 35-ish% as well. And that is just it's oversupply. It's everybody flocking to silver because they think that's the cool thing. That's like the in thing. But it's no longer the in thing. It's become the new base. And so this is not a Zion. Like it's a everybody just is overhyped on Zion, but it's also a Panini problem. And that's where this comes from. And if I haven't convinced you yet that Zion cards are overpriced, then maybe this will. Because I've only been talking about base and silver, right? As like the very foundational pieces of how to value a player. But there are other ways to invest in Zion, even in just Prism. And that's what I want to talk about here. In Top Chrome, there's only 5 variations. There's the base, the refractor, the black, the gold, and the X-Fractor. The base and refractor, obviously, the 2 lowest in terms of value because they have the biggest populations. But there's really only 4. There's literally 4 parallels for Top Chrome. There's a lot more for Prism. You can see the list there. I've done the math for you. 38. And so there is, besides the numbers that I just showed you, there is a lot of money that is invested or spent on these cards. And if we take out, like you could say like the black, the gold, the X-Fractors, those are high end stuff. So then it kind of like if you take out the golds, the nebulas, the really low numbered stuff. But think about how many dollars have been invested or spent on all of the lower end parallels in Prism. You got the green, the hypers, red, white, and blues. You have all the ices: green ice, orange ice, pink ice, red ice. Ruby wave, purple wave. Even these like choice parallels, blue, green, yellow. Is that a thing? Like what? Fast breaks, all fast breaks. There is way more invested than just what I showed you. And just again, exclude the high end stuff, the low end stuff, with all those different parallels I just named that are lower value parallels. They're somewhere between base and silver, basically, or maybe even a little bit higher. You add those numbers in with their pop counts, and those multipliers get even smaller and smaller. And the same thing is true for Luca, right? Because there's another Panini problem. They overprinted parallels. And so you combine that all together, and there's no way that demand isn't just way less than supply for Zion cards. And that's why they're overvalued. You compare it to LeBron, four parallels, and plus the base. It's just all of these things are already combined to lead to Zion decrease, like a further decrease. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's down 35%. It's so much. It's like, no, there's more to go. One pretty simple prediction for 2023 is that Zion base is going to be under $100. I am fairly confident of that. It's going to be under 100. Silver I haven't looked into, but given the fact that I think Zion, if I go through here, Zions are $100, $120. They're going to be under 100 in a little bit. So that's the video. Hopefully you found this interesting. Hopefully you found it insightful. I would love to hear your comments, what you think, whether or not you think this analysis makes sense. The next video that I'm going to talk about, as I always like to do, I always like to give you a preview of the next video, is how I predicted a few months ago that PSA would be down $50 and why I don't think they're going to go any lower. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to go even lower down to like $12, $10. You know, they used to be $8. I don't think that's going to happen, and I'll explain why in my next video. So that's it. That's the video. Like, subscribe, share with all your friends. I can be found on Instagram at Simon466cards. So thank you again for watching and listening, and I will talk to you all again soon. Cheers.